fellow students, teachers, and others, if there are others watching. I'm Justin Reed.
I'm Grace Zara, and we will be your host for this evening.
Today we will be talking about the Poetry Slam, popular books checked out from the library, and we will even be doing street interviews.
Starting us off is Douglas Thomas with a report of the Lone Star Challenge.
Dance! Oh, I didn't see you there. I'm here to talk about the Lone Star book. My favorite being The Steelheart. It's an amazing book about a futuristic society where superheroes take over the world. The most powerful being Steelheart. And they have separated into city-states and a bunch of stuff happens. It's amazing. Now, the Lone Star Challenge is if you read 5 books, you get a star on the library window. And if you read 10, you get an invitation to an ice cream party. And you have very much fun and a picture on the library wall, and it's much better than a star. It's all due on May 8th.
Hi, I'm Skylar.
And I'm Kate.
And we're going to go around interviewing people about the last book they read that they would recommend to a friend.
I would recommend Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. It's an old classic. It's brilliant. I love her works, and yeah, it's a great book. Kind of old, but it's awesome.
I'd recommend the Selection series. It's kind of dystopian, but in a Bachelor sort of way, and I liked it.
After the first wave, only darkness remains. After the second, only the lucky escape. And after the third, only the unlucky survive. After the fourth wave, only one rule applies: trust no one. Now it's the dawn of the fifth wave, and on a lonely stretch of highway, Cassie Sullivan runs from them. Cassie believes to stay alone is to stay alive until she meets Evan Walker. Beguiling and mysterious, Evan Walker may be Cassie's only hope for rescuing her brother, or even saving herself. But Cassie must choose between trust and despair, between defiance and surrender, between life and death, to give up or to get up. The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey deals with an alien invasion that occurs in a post-apocalyptic world. It is the first book in a 3-part series. Pleas from fans have been answered, and The Fifth Wave has officially been decided to become a movie with Chloe Grace Moretz as Cassie and Alex Rowe as Evan Walker. The movie is scheduled to release somewhere in the year 2016, and production has begun for the film.
Marilyn and I will be going over the top 10 most checked out books in the library by students.
The only catch being that we have to do so in 3 minutes. The clock starts now.
First up, we have a 15-16 Bluebonnet nominee titled Always Abigail by Nancy Cavanaugh.
The book follows an Abigail and her 2 best friends as they crawl up the popularity ladder.
Only problem is Abigail gets assigned to the different homeroom than her friends and is unfortunately paired up with the school's biggest outcast for a project.
Abigail starts to like Gabby until
she gets a permanent spot as a pom-pom girl.
Can Abigail choose between being popular or being friends with Gabby?
One choice can destroy you. That's right, Veronica Roth's second book in the action-packed dystopian franchise is next.
Divergent left us with the destruction of one of the 5 factions, Abnegation, home of the main protagonist, Tris Pryor.
As war surges in the factions all around her, Tris attempts to save those who she loves and herself. While grappling with the ongoing issue of loyalty and forgiveness and understanding what it means to be divergent.
Rodman Philbrick's novel, Zane and the Hurricane, the story of Katrina, is third on our list.
Zane Dupree is a charismatic 12-year-old who is separated from his family when Hurricane Katrina hits.
Left on their own, they have to have the courage to face the storm.
Until they are saved.
Number 4 on our list is a sequel from a franchise that is constantly compared to other dystopian novels. Suzanne Collins, Catching Fire.
After arriving home safely,
or as safe as you can get from the capital.
From the 74th Hunger Games, Katniss Everdeen and Peeta Mellark are forced to partake in the Victor Tour.
As they travel, Katniss senses this growing rebellion.
In order to control it, President Snow announces the change to the next Hunger Games.
Get ready for the Quirrell!
The 5th book on our list is The 14th Goldfish, written by 3-time Newbery winner Jennifer Holm.
11-year-old girl Ellie's grandfather is a scientist who is slightly obsessed with immortality. So what happens when Ellie meets a strange boy that looks exactly like him?
Could this pimply boy really be Grandpa Melvin? Has he finally found the secret to youth?
What would you do with $1 million if you were 13?
That question is on Nate Brody's mind in Mike Lupica's heartwarming book $1 Million Throw.
When Nate wins the chance to throw a pass at a Patriots game for $1 million, you should feel excited. Instead, he feels the pressure.
His dad has lost his job and their family their house, so it's no secret that $1 million would go a long way.
Of course, when it's needed most, his golden arms to fill him.
Can Nate win $1 million or will he let everyone down?
The Great Green Heist by Varian Johnson is our first Lone Star book on this list.
Jackson Green swears he's given up scheming.
That is, of course, until the school bully Keith Sinclair decides to run for president against Jackson's former friend Gabby De La Cruz.
Unwilling at first, Gabby decides to allow Johnson to help her, so Jackson assembles a crack team, Hashemi Larjani, Victor Cho, Megan Feldman, and Charlie De La Cruz. If they can pull it off, it will be remembered as the greatest school con ever.
Number 8 is the third book to a franchise already named on this list.
Catching Fire left us with District 12 in ruin, Peter being taken by the Capitol, and Katniss getting into District 13.
Mockingjay is the final installment to a long-awaited ending.
The success of the rebellion hinges on Katniss Everdeen's willingness to accept the responsibility for countless lives and to change the course of the future of Panem.
Can Curl His Girls, Vaseline and a Strand of Pearls help a shy girl be popular?
Next up is Popular, a memoir, Vintage Wisdom for a Modern Geek by Maya van Wagenen, which also happens to be the second Lone Star nominee on this list.
Second at the bottom of the social ladder, Maya has never been popular.
Before studying 8th grade, she decides to begin a unique social experiment.
Spending the year following a 1950s popularity guide written by former teen model Betty Cornell.
The last but not least, and by far my favorite, is Steelheart by Brandon Sanderson.
David Charleston will go any lengths to stop Steelheart, but to exact revenge in the Steelheart's world, David will need the Reckoners, a shadowy group of rebels bent on maintaining justice.
And it turns out that the Reckoners might just need David too.
And that, my friend, concludes our part of the show.
Did we do it though?
I think we did.
Great. You want to hear a joke?
Sure, Justin.
Okay. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
Interrupting cow.
Moo!
Have you heard the one about the will?
No.
Come on, it's a dead giveaway.
Oh, I get it. That's hilarious.
Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the show.
Join us next time. Not like you have a choice anyways.
Really, Justin?